Hey everybody, we are live. My name is Wendy and you are watching Wendy Makes Art and Wendy Ohm Fine Art on either YouTube or Twitch. And as I watch my screen, I don't know if my lips are matching. This might look like one of those old time foreign language films where the lips don't match, so don't even look at this. If you don't look at my mouth, you should be fine. I might even turn my face off so that you don't see this. Anyway, tonight, I'm going to turn this off because it's going to drive me crazy. Hold on. Give me a sec. Is that it? That's it. There we go. Okay. Now we just have Pogo. So let's talk about what we're doing tonight. Super fun. First up, I got some new goodies. And we're going to open my new goodies. And I couldn't control myself with the pink palette, so we're going to go through that, and then we're going to paint Cat-ivision props, which I'm so excited, on black paper, and I'll go in a little more detail about what that's about. But let me kind of show you what all I got for the upcoming Valentine's Day to myself, which is a little ridiculous. All right, we're going to start with the pink palette from ART082. They put this thing out, so I ordered it. I couldn't stand it. I already filled mine up. Now, I got excited and closed it while they were still wet, so I've got a couple little dots. But I wanted to pour a set of colors specifically for this hexagonal nutshell that we're going to fit, and I do not know if they're going to fit in this little tiny case. So I'm going to set a couple things to the side. Let's set Pogo to the side. We'll come back to her. She's super cute and super fun. And I'm going to start with what I have that motivated this. And I have had my eyes on this for a long time. So a little while back, I bought myself Hexagonal's waxed canvas toolkit, and filled it up, and I absolutely love it. But I want something more compact, and they had come out with this version called the Nutshell. So just so you guys can see what this is about, this is their regular size Sendak roll. And it all straps in like this, and so that gives you a really good idea, and it holds all kinds of stuff. There's pockets in the back here. It ties up really nice, fits in a bag, but I'm doing carry-on only with my Australia trip and really trying to rein in what I take, and so I wanted something in my tiny backpack for carry-on for my personal item that was smaller than this, because this is great. I can put it in my luggage, but I wanted something smaller. So this guy, it's now a permanent item. They had come out with a test set, and now it is official that it's permanent. So I'm going to put my receipt in there. I took a sneak peek, I have to admit, but I didn't fill it or try to do anything with it. So it came all wrapped up. It was wrapped really pretty when I got it. And they had a postcard about their business. And it's a family-owned business in Philadelphia, or outside Philadelphia, I believe. They make everything by hand. And look at this adorable little tiny nutshell. So here's the size comparison, so you can get a better feel for it. Just wrap this up. Here's this one, and look at this tiny little one. It's almost like a mini little wallet. So we're going to see what we can fit in this guy and set it all up for my Australia trip. And then we're going to open my Tom's pen, which I'm super excited, and see what that's all about. And then we're going to make Cat-ivision cat painting stuff with gouache. So let's open this guy up. Oh my goodness, it is so adorable. And it's got a little tag that talks about it. It's the littlest Sendak family. And my first thing was, I have a feeling that there is no way, once this is all wrapped up, that this guy will fit in it unless I tuck it in. No, it's not happening. Or I would have to fold it kind of weird. So I could put it in this back pocket right here and then fold it like this, which oddly enough works. Check that out. So I may do that. The other option that will give me a little more room in here and not make it as big. So that's option one, full palette that I like to work with. And I like that as an option. I could also tuck it in here. Option two is to make a switch and just in this little kit use a smaller palette. So we may have to do that because I really like being able to fold this twice and make it a little smaller. So let's see what else we're gonna get here. I need to have some sort of a pencil in this kit and eraser. So I like a mechanical pencil. I did not know if this would be too tall or not. It looks like it may work. So we're gonna shove this guy in here, and it does. It just fits. And then I think that I want one of my mono, the rectangular eraser like this. And so I was just gonna fit that in there. Now my go-to tools are a red or orange. I might keep the, well, I might put the red in here. One of these, this red one right here. And then I need a thing of lead in this kit. So we're gonna put lead and this, and then we have our pencil and our eraser. Then I want a small red watercolor pencil. And I like a cooler red, like the Cad red, but this one is too big. And I had a little one in this brand. Scarlet's kind of big. Oh, I can put that over here. I had an extra mono that I didn't realize I had. Oh, and we're gonna pull this out as a test piece. So I need a shorter pencil, and I'm looking to see if I have one stuffed in here that I have managed to lose. I had like a little chunky one, and I don't, oh, maybe I put it in here. I bet I did. Haha, I knew it. I knew I had a little one. Okay. Awesome. And then we'll put this one in here. So I know that I've got that over there. And I think this is gonna have to go, well, I'll have to find a different pencil up there. Okay, this is like a staple in my life. So I'm gonna put that in there. And then I need a little tiny pencil sharpener. So we're gonna have to find I'll just put this in here for now and then replace my other one. So I wanna see how well this stuff fits. Those are the things I know I need. So we've got mini watercolor kit and this. Now I have room for 3 brushes and maybe a couple more. And so what I did was I pulled out my smallest watercolor brushes. And I'm debating on a waterproof head as well. This is a Faber-Castell. However, I have my Tom's pen, so we're gonna see how that works in these kits. Okay, now this is a rosemary right here, and then this pointy thing is really nice because, oh, that's a little much. I don't think I need anything with a point that loosey-goosey. I really love this brush, but it is kind of a wild thing. So we're gonna turn that is a no. And everybody, hey, Annie C, so glad you're here. I'm filling my tiny nutshell. I get to pick 3 brushes to go in this, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of them because I like, look how nice and chunky it is right there. This one must send over there. This one I absolutely love, so we're going to use those two, and then one more which I think needs to be a synthetic. And I have more that my brother got me, but they're a little too soft for what I want to do. So this one is a no. Love it. It's a no. And then these are kind of nice. This is a really nice synthetic. I'm almost thinking I should switch or have two, like this one and ooh, maybe a bigger one. That's gigantic though. And this is an expensive brush, this one over here, so I really hesitate to take it. These I like that the backs screw in because they don't fall out. And we may revisit this one because I paint with gouache and watercolor, so I need a little bit of a firmer. That's why I want this one, just because it's synthetic. This is not, that is sable, sable, sable. Okay, so definite, and one of these, and I'm kind of leaning towards, believe it or not, this one, because I know it'll hold a little more in the body of that and give me a nicer wash. So we're gonna go with these three. There you go. One, and I'll take them down, like, see how nice they go in here. So one, and then you gotta lick it for good luck. Hope there's no paint on it. That would not be good. Always worried about pinching my brushes. That's it. I think that is really all I need for my little mini Sendak roll. And if I want, let's see if I have one. I had these really great little, last week I made homemade journals, and I had one that was a tiny size, and now I think I took it downstairs. So much for that. Let's see if this one has anything on it. Here's a little tiny one that I could put in here for kicks. This is it's I haven't even drawn in it, and it's a zigzag. Ooh, and then Tom's Studio we haven't done yet, so I can put that in there. Close this up, just like that. For a little watercolor palette, put it on this side, not behind, and then maybe one black pen for now, and then let's see how well it folds up. It's not real crazy about this. Woohoo! Oh, that was about awesome. Ridiculous, right? That something like that makes me so happy. So I don't like that this strap isn't in the middle, you know, like over here. If I took that little watercolor book, it may fit a little better out if I take this out. This is a little bulky for it, so that definitely helped. Oh yeah, that made all the difference. Look at that. And it's not like I don't have kits. That's really nice. Okay guys, there you go. All right, so there's that. Now, next thing I said, I ordered a Tom Now, last Christmas, this last year, I bought all my friends a mini version of this, and they loved them. And I did not get one for myself, so I thought I would watch. And they had one that was in tangerine that I absolutely loved. Only by the time I saw it, they were sold out. And then they had one that was sunrise to sunset, and the favorite color they had was sold out. So I went through their site and I found a special edition and decided to go ahead and pull the trigger. I don't know if it's my favorite color combination, but it is definitely not something that I'll mix up or forget, because it is so well, you're gonna see. It's very bright, the one I got. So this was a shout out to the 1980s. I am a child of the 80s, so it really hit my heart. This was a time when Madonna was big. We had leg warmers and neon colors and plastic, gosh, they were just like stretchy bracelets, and they were all strips of plastic that we would put on our arms. Big sweaters, we did crazy stuff with our hair. And so this was what I got. And I got it engraved, so it says Wendy Alm, artist. I thought that would be a nice touch. So there you go. That is my lift to reveal. I don't know what's under here. Let's see. Look at that. So I've got 2 different inks. All the tips. It has all these different tips that you can change out and use in your pen. And then you put the nibs you want in each side, and I can interchange them. So I can draw with this one or this one and have 2 different ink colors. So I'm not sure what this little ink color is. It's probably black. This one is definitely purple. Let's see. Super fun. Big ideas, small beginnings, and it says, doesn't say anything. I think it's purple. Okay, so I gotta figure out how to use that, but we're gonna get to painting because I am wasting a lot of time. Unless you guys really want to see me hook this thing all up, you can kind of let me know what you think. But isn't this cool? And then when I take that off, I think it screws in. Yeah, it screws in the back. So my lid stays back here when I'm coloring with this one, when I'm drawing. And it's gonna be a bit for me to figure this all out on how to use it. I'm a little nervous, I have to say, on how to use it and which of these tips I want to write with. That's kind of exciting. Like I might want one of the finer ones and then one of these thicker ones. I don't know. Like I love this felty kind of one right here. Oh, and then these are extra little cartridges because you use ink and you fill them up. So these are the little cartridges that you use. I actually really like it. I wasn't sure after I ordered it, but I have to say I love the raspberry and the blue and the pink is super fun. And check this out. Look, I mean, it's like I've gone retro. It's all 1980s stuff. They also are known for sending a cup of tea. So I got a cup of mint to be, peppermint and zingy lemon verbena tea that came with it. So I'm excited to try that out and put ink in this whole thing and draw with it. Okay, let's go to Cat-ivision. I'll play with this later and not torture you guys. That's pretty awesome, by the way. Although I'm curious and I really want to get in that and mess around. All right, so let's pull out some reference with Pogo. I've got so much stuff everywhere. I'm just gonna have to open this up this over here. And I'm probably going to just pull up a photo. Lebowski, did you want to know what this is? What this pen is? It's an ink pen that I can fill like forever. So I have to pull the instructions out on how to fill it because I don't know. I don't think it's very complicated, I will say that. But it makes me nervous. So we'll do that off camera. Okay, Pogo and Cat-ivision. I need a sheet of black paper. What we're gonna do is I'm teaching gouache boot camp. And Lebowski, do you wanna put something in the chat that gives a link to gouache boot camp? It is an event that is going to take place on February 19th. And if you ever wanted to learn gouache, paint with gouache, just all of the basics and all the information that'll get you started, it is a full day of instruction. You can get 10% off the class fee with my last name. So the code is AHLM for 10% off at checkout. So gouache, let's see. Gouache boot camp. And then, it's making me sign up. So I'll have Lebowski do it. I mustn't be signed into chat. Thank you. And you get 10% off with the code AHLM at checkout. You can watch the live event. I think it's $47 plus your 10% off gets it down to, you get $470 off, so $42.30. That's to watch it live, and it's an entire day of classes. There are a whole bunch of other artists, and then I'm going to be teaching everyone how to mount their own watercolor paper to panels, and also how to varnish so that you can frame without glass. I'm going to show 2 different types of varnish. And then how to frame. So anybody who's never framed before, or if you just want some general tips on things, I'm going to be teaching you how to do that. It'll be a lot of fun. They do have replays. It's a little more if you want a replay session, 60 days or up to a year. So with that, the first thing I'm going to do is get in between, why I'm doing this. So I have a lot of pieces that I'm pulling out to work on that have already been dried in layers. There's a lot of downtime that I don't want you to have to sit through when I teach this. So I want everybody to be engaged and have fun, and I thought the funnest thing or way that I could think to do that would to be Cat-ivision. Through the magic of Cat-ivision, I'm going to make timers that are fun shout outs to pets in my or my friends' lives, and we're going to go through and I'm going to show you what I'm going to make. So they're basically cut out, painted with gouache, cat kitchen timers and or televisions. I'm going to do their little paws that are going to do the timers, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I want to go in, and I have probably destroyed all of my kitchen timers here in my life. But this first one, we're just going to pull up a kitchen timer, and then I'm going to look at images and try to look at fun ones. Now this is kind of fun. It's already made like a timer, but I want to be able to show as it goes around in a circle. So I'm kind of thinking more of, see, look, that they have chickens. How fun is that? Annie C, you love chickens. That's kind of fun. I'm just looking to see real quick what kind of fun. Oh, I think I used to have a tomato or an apple, which is kind of cool. So we need a circle on a stand, and I'm just gonna kind of do the bases here, and a big circle for this one to start. Now I can paint from my painting of Pogo. I can pull up a photo of Pogo. I took a bunch the other day. She's so cute. And we'll just have Pogo here. And when I paint on black, I just use a watercolor pencil to draw it out. So that's really all I need. Now I got to figure out how I want her paw, because that's going to be a lot of fun to put her paw on here so that it goes around the circle, because we're going to put a little joint in the middle. Like I've got these guys. And so when we're done, this is going to go in the middle so her paw can go all the way around. So I'll draw a separate paw, but I've got to think about how weird that's going to be. Or maybe I put it down here and we just go with the weird. That's okay, because it's my art. So with that, I think what we do is we have her head just a little higher on here, and the little ears should come out. And make sure it's big enough. That's not quite right. It's going to be more like that. And that. She's got really big ears. And then I'm just going to put her little nose in here. Now I could spin her whole head. We could just do it like that. She's got this little area right here, which is super cute. And then I would pay attention to where her eyes sit in comparison to the rest of her face and how big they are. So I size everything right. And then she's got this, her little, like, look at that, like a little cheeky thing that comes out, and halfway down from her, and then those little cheeks in here. If I'm breaking it into shapes, I make sure this eye is big enough. And of course she's got white areas, and then down here, that's all white. She's got these great, I think of them almost like a fake eye. I bet it's something in nature to fake out predators or when they're hunting, so that they think their eyes are up here, when in fact they're down here. And then come around. She's got like this fabulous little tuft up here of white below the ear. And then on her ear, there's like a little notch in it. And then her little chin right here, which comes up and then into here. So she's going to need an arm that goes around here from there, like that. we're just gonna do an arm joint in here, and her other arm. She's kind of cute and loafy. And the arm will go all the way around. So we'll play with that a little bit. I might make it bigger than it needs to be and joint it right there, even though that makes no sense. And then just make her like a little loaf coming down here. And her eyes aren't low enough. They actually should be down here. So we're gonna move a little bit of stuff as we paint, and we'll just mess with it as we paint. I'll start in the middle and then we'll kind of bring it out from there, because I think it needs to be down lower, like in here, instead of where it was. Okay. All right, we need paint, a little bit of water, a couple paper towels. We don't need these anymore. So I'm gonna bring the paper towels over. Of course, I've got my reference cat here. Oh, and anybody watching or who watched the VOD, if you have a cat and want to email it to me or send me the picture, send it to me. I'll paint your cat. We'll turn it into a Cat-ivision piece. That would be a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm going to start with a gray, and I need to get a lot of this yellow out of my palette. So I'm just going to clean it with my brush. I might leave a little bit of it in there. Add some blue, add some red, add more blue. Go up into this mess on top and use all the colors on my palette to make a gray. This one's a little bluish, a little more red in there. Okay, and I know that her nose is going to come right down in here. White that comes around there, and then it gets very dark gray, which I may pull some black out. Let's just pull a little bit of black out in this palette over here. This will have to be a lot darker than what it is. In fact, I'm feeling really crazy tonight. We're just going to get some black out and put it in this pan and paint with it. Maybe. I may never get the lid on this again. I'll deal with that later. Okay, now we're doing a little better. I'm blocking in shapes to kind of get an idea of where everything is going to go on her head. So you won't see it right away. It'll look a little goofy. I'm just kind of trying to feel my way through this. It may help you guys if I add a little white as well. That might make it a lot clearer for you as you watch. So I'm just going to get another brush up here. into my white. It's not a pure white yet. And inside of her eye. And just try to like build this shape in here, as well as where that pattern right above her eye is. And then the same over here. I've got to make sure it's deep enough. And then she's got like a light little nose area on top, right here. And then that eye over here. So now she's starting to come, and you can really start to see it when I bring this stuff in more. We'll have to darken that up. And then, like I said, she's got that little white tuft right in here. And then, if you come down beside the nose, her cute little mouth. So cute. She looks like she has eye makeup. And then we're going to have to start shading it back with grays here. It's darker as it goes back. It's got like some little lighter colors back in these cheeks back here. And then up here as well, she's got like this cute little tuft by this ear. And this ear wasn't quite far enough over. And then it's light up here above her head. So it'll kind of lighten in like that before it goes up on this big ear right here. And then she's got a nice gray underneath. A couple lighter colors back in here. Back here, coming back her neck. And I can even start to bring some of that light color in the middle of her ears. We'll have to add some pinks and all kinds of other stuff, but that'll give us a little bit of a start. Chest as it goes back. And then let's make it gold. And start to lay at least some of that color inside these eyes. There's warm colors in there. There's other stuff that happens. It's a little warm around these edges in here. Not quite that warm. Round it up a little bit. I have to work work on some of these colors. And also more of this white in here. I love that she has these little like triangular shapes in the corners of her eyes right here. And I can take some black. Try to define those eyes a little better. Yes, I do. I adore my kitten. She's not even a kitten anymore. She has this little brown pink tip on the end of her nose right here, which is super adorable. Not quite that noticeable. I have to doll it up with the little black, but a little bit. And a little bit of that white gray going right down around it. Right there. Highlight in here. And then start to add some of these grays. So like right here, kind of comes out this way, up in here, and then we're gonna get into like a lot darker. So I can start bringing that in. Got like a little dark area in there. hint in here of this dark stuff going on. Right in here, down to there, it gets a little darker. Same over in here. So really just making sure that I'm getting enough variation in the grays. Going to be a little bit of work on these eyes. I'll probably have to get in there with some much smaller brushes, but try to get the general idea in for right now. So funny, right? Not really. Let's put a little more gold over here on this side. See all kinds of different colors in these eyes. That's a little too much, but that's okay. Let's darken some of this stuff up again in her little nostril. Get some black back in here. The little tips of her nose. Down to there. And I'm guessing that we should have, some lines on this. Just, I might as well put an idea of where they are before we go too far, so I don't lose that concept. So we're just gonna do like here and here and here and here. There and here, and I'm just splitting these up is all I'm doing. I think it's just the idea, like the fun idea, not necessarily perfection. Here, that one needs here, that one needs there, and that's a pretty good split for the edge of that. Now, I'm also going to come in here and just start painting the border so I know where that is. Should I have cheated and drawn a circle? Maybe. be, because look at this. This is so cattywampus. Cat, get it? Cattywampus. That's even funnier over here. This side is really goofy, which is okay. I'm just gonna go with it for what it is. Here's my cat. And I can leave some of this background in here too. I don't have to make it all detailed. I like the idea that her fur is lighter in here. Now watch what happens if I just wet a brush and rub at this watercolor pencil. I can pretty much wipe it out. So I can just wipe that crazy stuff out right there. The base of our clock timer, cat timer. Whew. Now I think what I'll do is make a paw down here and then I'll cut it. So I want one I want it about this long. So I'm just gonna draw it freehand right now and then we'll cut it out. I'll give you the idea of what I'm thinking. So big old paw. That one. That little finger of hers. And I think I'll even stripe it. That would be fun to put some stripes on it. So back into here with my gray. Do like that gray area. Definitely in between these toes here because I want to kind of define that they're there. And maybe even a little more right there. Little paw, little paw. And then, like I said, little stripes coming down. So along that line. This little paw right here. This one gets a little more love too. Coming in here, that a little bit in there, and then we need a gray, darker gray between these. to give you guys the idea of what I'm doing with this. So let me grab my scissors and I'll just do a quick cut to show you. Cut this out. Have to do the little furs and stuff, but it gives you the idea. It's still wet, which makes it even funnier. Okay, so here's her little arm, and when she does the timer, I'm just going to turn it in a circle, even though it makes no sense. And she's going to pass the time with her little paw, which is hilarious. I'm going to cut this thing out too. So that's paw in progress. Hilarious. It's kind of creepy, right? Like, meow, meow. Ew, put it like over here, I guess. That is so funny. Going around. Oh, that is hilarious. Okay, maybe I'm the only one who thinks it's funny, but I think it's very funny. Okay. A little bit of peachy pink inside these ears. So it's going to be up in here. It won't be that obnoxious, but just laying it in underneath right now so I can put stuff on top of it. And then there's a nice line of gray even in here. So cute. Even the goofy little painting of her is adorable. Okay. And then it gets a little darker right in here. I'm trying to decide if we should put like gold or something on the back. If I did a yellow gold back here, how would that look? Would I even like that? I don't know. That might not be bad behind her, just to make her stand out from the rest of it. Right in here. I kind of like that idea of the gold on the surface of the clock. It'll help me define those times too by blocking all the sections in. Isn't that the cutest little timer? Oh my goodness, I think it'll be so fun to do Cat-ivision. So through the magic of Cat-ivision, we'll pass the hours by, pretend like we spent an hour when all I did was turn the paw. At the turn of a paw. Oh yeah, I really like the gold. That's kind of fun. Man, an hour goes fast, right? Time flies when you're having fun. Okay, so everybody on here who knows me, if you have a cat, please, I would love to make a Cat-ivision timer with your cat. I'm gonna do some ones. I think I might do one in a TV. This is my weekend project, believe it or not, while I'm practicing everything. And now that I've made one, it just makes it even more fun. The toughest thing is going to be figuring out where to place her little paw. Like, and maybe it's just down here. Like, it could be a little goofy. I'm okay with it not matching up, but it's just going to be that one little. I don't know if you guys ever had these in grade school where you could make things that move with them. I absolutely love them. I got them at a thrift store, and I have, I don't know, like 1,000 of them. And I just thought it would be super fun to hook this through here. And then, gotta be careful where I decide to do this. Yeah, I really think that's fun. So we'll do it like this, and then all I have to do is on the back, I'll do the thing so that when she turns her little paw, it will turn all around the clock. Ha ha ha! First timer, not quite finished, but almost. That is funny. What was I using for my just all these great stripes? For my gold, I was wondering what I was using for my gold. I had a brush. Oh, it must be that brush. Okay. I could come in here like this a little bit. Work on that a little. Come back to my gold. She looks good with the gold. My white is very pink. And I'm not sure what I'm shaking, but something on here is shaking and I hear it. Kind of like the idea of this jaggedy area right here. And then going over it again with white on my edges. Okay. She's a lot of white hairs up in her ears. And then the little stripies that are on her cheeks too. So like out from here, there's a little stripey that comes back, and I'm gonna have to give her all her whiskers. So I've got some detail work to to kind of figure out, and but I got the general idea, and now I think I need to make like 4 different cats. So I'll keep working at this. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the things, and come back again. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, all. Have a great week.